Hello, my name is Lincoln, Program Director here at P3C Pro. Today, I want to talk about counting calories and macros. While this isn't necessarily a popular topic these days, as intuitively eating is the hot new topic, and I say this as someone who has been intuitively eating myself for the past 5 years, but counting calories and macros sets the foundation to be able to effectively intuitively eat. Because when you count macros, you are looking at the back of nutrition labels, you are weighing your food so you understand portion sizes, and you have to understand how many calories your body needs to perform optimally. So today, I want to share just the basic math that goes into calculating how many calories you should be eating, and then breaking that down between proteins, carbs, and fats. Now today, I'm gonna teach you the equations I've been using since 2013 when I did my first bodybuilding show. I went off of Lane Norton's Guide to Natural Bodybuilding and Tracking Your Calories. So I used that then, I used it for my next 10 bodybuilding competitions, and I used it with tons of clients over the past decade, those who are interested in macros. So to begin, it's just simple. You take 15 times your weight. Now I say your weight, assuming you are a generally active individual. So working out 3 to 5 days a week, staying active, playing sports, or just living a generally active life overall. I'm gonna use 200 as the example weight. So you take 15 times 200 and you get 3,000. This is the amount of calories required for a 200-pound individual to maintain 200 pounds. So someone who just wants to maintain their weight, they don't want to gain muscle mass, they don't want to lose body fat, they just want to maintain what they have, 15 times your body weight. Now, if you want to, let's say, gain muscle mass, you want to add 300 to 500 calories. So your daily intake would then equal, let's just say, 3,400 calories a day. Now, if you want to lose body fat effectively, you want to subtract 400 to 600 calories per day. So let's just say 2,500 calories. This will be your daily intake of calories, and then as you gain weight, as you're gaining muscle mass, or as you lose body fat, then you will adjust your calories accordingly. So that is, we're just going to assume that someone just wants to maintain their weight. So they're eating 3,000 calories a day. From there, how many grams of protein, carbs, and fats should they be eating? So you have some people who swear by low carb diets. You have some people who swear by low fat diets. We're just gonna go with a generally balanced 35% protein, 35% carbs, 30% fat diet. Now before we break that down, what we need to understand is that protein equals 4 calories per 1 gram. Carbs is the same. 4 calories per 1 gram. Fats, on the other hand, has a little different calorie breakdown. It is 9 calories per 1 gram of fat. So, assuming that we want 35% protein, 35% carbs, and 30% fat, I'm using these percentages and this weight because I already have the math calculated. For 3,000 calories, 35% of 3,000 is 1,050 calories in protein. Now there's 4 calories per 1 gram of protein. So you divide 1,050 by 4, and you get 262.5 grams of protein. And that's what you want to eat daily. Again, you're just going to copy and paste for carbs, because it's the exact same calories and percentage breakdown. So you're going to get 262.5 grams of carbs per day. Fat, on the other hand, we have a little different number. So 30% of 3,000 is going to be 900 calories. And then 900 divided by 9, easy math, equals 100 grams of fat. So this is, I wrote that wrong, this is going to be your ideal number of fat, protein, carbs, and fats to just maintain a optimal level of 200 pounds, training hard, playing hard, whatever you're doing. Now to begin, not everyone needs to really track everything. So for someone who is starting, what I'd really focus on is getting your 3,000 calories per day and then getting your 262.5 grams of protein per day, because protein is king. For any type of athlete or someone who's trying to gain muscle mass, lose body fat effectively, protein is really what you want to focus on. Now, we say 262.5. That does not have to be exact. You could be getting anywhere from, let's say, 250 to 270, 275. The idea is just to generally be in that area. Unless you're bodybuilding, then your numbers have to be exact. But to start, 3,000 calories, 262, and then really the carbs and fats can be interchangeable. When it comes to actually counting calories, how does this happen? I'd recommend using a calorie tracking app like MyFitnessPal. That is the app that I have used for years, that I have recommended to my clients to use because it helps me teach them as I understand it. And the free version is all you need. You don't need to be tracking your movement, anything like that. The free version, just tracking your calories, is what you need. And I would also recommend, don't take the recommendations on how much weight. Like don't plug in your weight and try to tell them your goals. They're gonna give you some real wacky numbers. These numbers for an active individual who is training consistently, these numbers work across the board. Simple as that. Now the good part about using MyFitnessPal is that it forces you to really understand what you are intaking. You're gonna look at the back of nutrition labels when you go to the grocery store. Once you start weighing your food, then you start to understand portion sizes. Oh, 8 ounces of chicken looks like this. This provides me 45 to 50 grams of protein. I would recommend though, for someone who is starting on MyFitnessPal, just start by just plugging in everything you're eating. It doesn't matter, you don't need to hit any specific goal. When I start with a client, I tell them for the next 2 weeks, just plug every meal into MyFitnessPal. For one, that tells you what you're eating. You really start to get a sense for what you're putting into your body. And what I will say, what I find to be most common is that more people are eating too little of food than too much. But the problem is when you're eating too little of food, your metabolism slows down. Especially when you're eating too little of protein, your metabolism slows down. So then what happens? You start to gain body fat. And what do people naturally think needs to happen when you start gaining body fat and you want to lose weight? I need to eat less. So then people eat less off of their already too little of a diet, and then your metabolism slows even more. So, and I found this with a lot of my, especially my bodybuilding clients back in the day, is when I started with them, I would increase their calories significantly, and they'd complain, and they would tell me that they're eating way too much and they felt bloated. But after 2 weeks, their metabolism kicked in. And then their body was performing optimally. And then they were actually really hungry. So this is why these are the numbers that need to be utilized when calculating how much food you need to be intaking, and then go to protein. That is the next most important thing. Carbs, and then fats. But this range, if you're 200 pounds, 2,500 to 3,400 is your window for eating calories. If you're eating less than 2,500 calories, your metabolism is going to slow down and you're going to start packing on body fat in a bad way. If you start eating 3,500 calories or above, and especially if you're not eating a high protein diet, again, you're going to start packing on fat. There is an optimal window that we all operate in. So hopefully this breakdown of the basics of how to count calories has provided you a little bit of insight, and maybe you can try it at home. See if you're eating enough, and try downloading MyFitnessPal, because that is going to tell you a lot about what you're putting into your body and how you're going to perform each and every day. This foundation of counting calories is absolutely necessary before trying to live a life intuitively eating. So, in 2025, take the time to learn how to count calories. That way you are setting yourself up with skills and understanding of how to eat for the rest of your life.